ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशालाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रसारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादे पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So welcome everybody to Bhakti Vriksa. So little deeper understanding of Bhagavad Gita. So today we'll discuss about the soul inside our body. So when Arjun got bewildered and confused whether he should fight or he should not fight, the time Krishna told that he should fight. Why he is giving different reason for that. And one of the reason is that he is telling you are not the body, you are the soul. And like we changes our clothes, similarly our soul changes our body. When our body become useless, old, that time what happened, we changes, our soul changes our body and take another body. And whatever body he will take, it depend upon his karma and different reasons that we'll discuss later. So today we'll start with 2.20. Okay. We'll do one thing. You unmute everyone. I'll read, you have to follow the sloka. After that somebody will read the translation. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, unmute everyone.
Everyone please unmute.
When I read the sloka, after that you follow me.
Okay,
So by that you'll have na jayate mriyate ba kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah
jayate
aja nitya visvatayam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire yeah. Once again, na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah aja aja nitya sasvatayam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire. Yes, somebody read the translation.
Prabhuji.
You raise
Prabhuji,
yes, you mute everyone and one of them you unmute.
okay. Prabhuji, you will have to unmute. Yes. Prabhuji. Dhanya, please unmute. Prabhuji, can I unmute? Can I tell you?
Yes.
Arav, please unmute.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can I read purport?
No, first you read the translation, then we'll
Okay.
go to purport. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and he will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
Yes. So here Krishna is telling the soul there is neither birth or death anytime. That means wherever there is birth, there is death. Because we are born one day, there is a reason we will die one day. Somebody is not having birth, he will never die. So that is our soul. He will never die, but he will change only the dresses, only the body. And then he has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. Okay, our soul came from the God directly. He is ever existing. God is there, our soul is there. Okay, it's not slain when the body is slain, because our body is destroyed after a few days when we got old, but our soul will never become old, or it never be killed or died. Yes, you read this purport, buddy.
Yes. Sarayu, please unmute. Sarayu, can you please read the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Purport.
Yes.
Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. He
Yeah.
undergoes no change like the body. Sometimes the soul is called the steady or kutastha. The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformations. It takes its birth from the womb of the mother's body, remains for some time, grows, produces some effects, gradually dwindles, and at last vanishes into oblivion. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. The soul is not born, but because he takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death. And because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, present, or future. He is eternal, ever existing, and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being. Under the impression of the body, we seek the history of birth, etc., of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old as the body does. The so-called old man therefore feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. The changes in the body do not affect the soul. The soul does not deteriorate like a tree, nor anything material. The soul has no byproduct either. The byproducts of the body, namely children, and also different individual souls, and owing to the body, they appear as children of a particular man. The body develops because of the soul's presence, but the soul has neither offshoots nor change. Therefore, the soul is free from the 6 changes of the body.
Yes. So our body changes. We take birth, slowly our body grows, then it grows faster, then it stops growing, then old age comes. Like that our body changes from different uh, condition to different condition, but our soul from beginning to end, it is same. It does not change anything. So that's why, and the soul do not have birth or death. Okay, so in a Vedic literature like Katha Upanishad, it has been written here. The meaning of the paper was same as Bhagavad Gita, but here in this verse there is one special word, Viparishchit, Vipaschit, which means learned or with knowledge. One thing here, and the extra thing is given in Katha Upanishad, that soul does not have birth and death. And one more thing is that it has full knowledge. Okay, that is the reason I told you, when you are asking our super soul or soul anything, without experience also he can tell. The knowledge and intelligence means you need prior input. For example, you know this thing, you have read somewhere, somebody told you, you will have experience, then only you will be able to take a decision. That is our intelligence. Our intelligence cannot take decision without knowledge. Okay, but soul and super soul, they can take the decision without knowledge because it has full of knowledge. Can you see here? Vipaschit, which means learned or with knowledge. Okay, the soul is full of knowledge. Here you can see the soul is full of knowledge or full always with consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. Even if one does not find the soul within the heart where he is situated, one can still understand the presence of the soul simply by presence of consciousness. Understand? So now here you can understand the characteristic of soul. There are few important characteristics. Soul does not have birth, does not have death, does not have disease, does not have old age, it does not grow or changes its size and shape. Okay, it is eternal and it is primeval. Primeval means it is present since long time. We do not know since when it is there. Primeval means earliest. It is there since long time. And last is that it is full of knowledge. Even he do not have experience, he has not read from anywhere, like God, Supreme God, Krishna, he is full of knowledge. He knows everything. He knows everything without getting knowledge from anyone. Similarly, our soul, because it's a part of super soul or God himself, it has full knowledge. Only thing is that we have to understand, we have to ask the soul and super soul what is our problem, what is the solution, they'll give the proper answer. Okay, so this is okay. Any questions on this?
Please raise your hand if you have any questions.
Yeah. Next
No
is,
one has any questions.
okay, next is 2.22. Similarly, the characteristic of soul. Just unmute everyone. I need they should read after me.
Please unmute everyone.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Basam sijirnani yatha bihaya navani gruhyati naro parani tatha sarirani bihaya ninyanti samyanti navani dehi. Yes. So vasansi jinnani jatha vihaya navani gruhyati nara purani tatha sarirani vihaya jinna ninyanti samyanti navani dehi. Yes. Somebody read the translation. This is very,
Prabhuji,
yes.
Prabhuji, first I will mute
Mute.
everyone. Yes. Aryan Karadkar, please unmute.
The translation, right?
Yeah.
As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, The soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
Yes, so what happened? Our soul is like our body. What happened? We wear different garments, pants, shirts. So when it become torn, old, it is not good to use. Then what happened?
I am unmuted.
We change this one and take new garments. Similarly, when our body become useless, old, it cannot work properly, then our soul changes a body and take another body. Okay, that's very simple. Yes, somebody read the purport first stanza.
Can I read?
Yes.
Change of body by the atomic individual soul is an accepted fact. Even the modern scientists who do not believe in the existence of soul, but at the same time cannot explain the source of energy from the heart, have to accept continuous changes of body, which appear from childhood to boyhood, and from boyhood to youth, and again from youth to old age. From old age, the change is transferred to another body. This has already been explained in a previous verse,
Yes.
2.13.
Yes. So what happened? And similarly is telling our modern scientists, they do not believe on the existence of soul. Okay, so last class I have shown you one video, one small slide where the scientists are telling that our body made up of chemicals, and from chemical reactions only our body created. But one of the scientists in 20th century, what he did, he analyzed our whole body, whatever chemical is there in our body, he analyzed each and every chemicals, and he found out what is the cost of all these chemicals, and he found out what is the cost of our body. So ultimately what happened, he found out that cost of our body is 210 rupees. So is it practical that our body is 210 rupees? No. Our body is very costly, lakhs and crores of rupees. Then what is that inside our body which makes our body so valuable? Not the chemicals. If it is chemical, it costs only 210 rupees. So that is the reason there is something in our body which makes our body very valuable. So that is called the life energy or life force. In other word, in Vedic language, it is called soul. So if this life energy is not there, there is no difference between a living body and dead body. Even a person dies, his body is like that only. All the chemicals are like that only. But he cannot move because there is no life energy. Okay, so this small thing we can understand. Everybody can understand. But today modern science cannot understand this, that soul exists in our body, inside our body. And because soul is there, our body is active. And soul is not there, our body cannot be active. Okay. And yes, so I told you last that our soul and super souls are like two birds sitting on a plant. So somebody read this purport here from Aldo.
Please raise your hand.
So this is written in,
Sai, please unmute.
yes. So this is written in
Sai.
Shatashatra Upanishad, and this one. So read from here, Aldo.
Yes, Prabhuji. Although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and morsels as the enjoyer of the fruit of the tree. But if in some way or other he turns his face to his friend, the Lord, and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxieties. Arjuna has now turned his face towards his eternal friend Krishna and is understanding the Bhagavad Gita from him. And thus, hearing from Krishna, he can understand the supreme glories of the Lord and be free from lamentation.
Yeah.
Arjuna is advised herewith by the Lord not to lament for the bodily change of his old grandfather
Yeah.
and his teacher.
Teachers. Okay. So what is happening here? It is this chapter only, although two birds are sitting on the same side. So the soul and super soul are like this. These are like two birds sitting on a plant, on a tree. one branch of a tree, and the soul is enjoying, okay, the material nature, like he's taking some fruits. And another is the super soul. He is a bird which is witnessing, he's just seeing and observing what you are doing. Okay, so because our soul is enjoying, we are enjoying, we don't look at the super soul, another bird. We don't ask what to do, what uh, for something, whether we have to enjoy or not. So similarly, whatever we do, similarly we'll get the punishment or happiness. So that depend upon that birds who is judging us. So sometimes we are in problem, we have to look at another bird, the one bird to look at another bird and find out what is the solution. Okay, so that means inside our body two things are there which is eternal. One is the soul which belong to us, and another is the super soul which belong to God. That means God is protecting us, guiding us each and every moment. He is there in our heart. Okay, but we should always willing to take the uh, knowledge from Him. Unless we desire the knowledge, He won't give the knowledge to us. Okay, that is our problem only. Next is any questions on this?
Sai, no. Arav, please unmute.
Prabhuji, I have a question about something else. Can I still ask?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Prabhuji, like we should not, like, can you like joke, because that's also still lying, but like will it still be a sin if you joke?
Means whether we'll do joke or not.
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, lying is a bad karma and you are kidding to someone, like you are lying to someone, but then you just say you're kidding. So is that still a sin or bad or not?
Yes. So just for a joke, if somebody is not affected, and suppose you are doing something, somebody is affected, then it is bad. But normally you are telling lie means it is little bit sinful only, but it is less sinful when somebody are not affected. Suppose you are lying something, kidding, and your brother is at anxiety, then it is little bit sinful. Okay, if he is happy for that and he is also enjoying, then that much sin is not there. Okay, so it's like that. If somebody is getting hurt by you, then sin is more.
Okay, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, what is the maximum time to get purified?
There is no maximum time. The person who are there, who got immediately purified. Somebody will take little more time. But if you are trying to do something, definitely one day you will be purified. That is guaranteed. Okay. But only thing is that we do not develop the desire to be purified. Once you have developed the desire to be purified, definitely one day you will be purified. Okay, there is no doubt.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll go to next verse, 2.23. Okay.
Yes, I'll unmute everyone.
Yes.
Please repeat after Prabhuji, okay?
Yes. Naina
Please
chindanti
unmute.
sastrani. Naina dahati pavaka. Na chainam kledanti apa. No sasayati marutaha. Once again. Yes, once again. Naina chindantri sastrani. Nainam dahati pavaka. Na chainam kledanti apa. Na sasayati marutaha. Yes, so this is again the characteristic of soul. How is the soul? What is its characteristic? Again, somebody read the translation.
Okay, Prabhuji, first I'll mute everyone.
Yes.
Okay, Aryan Karadakar, please unmute.
The soul can never be cut to pieces by a new weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind.
Yeah, so this is the characteristic of soul. So anything material, it can be cut into pieces by any weapons, but sometimes the thing is very small. If it is very small, you cannot cut with the weapons. Okay, like some microorganisms, they are not visible. How can you cut this? So it's not possible. But in material thing, they can be burned by fire, they can be moistened by water, they can be withered by winds. But the soul is free of all these things. It cannot be moistened by water, can be burned by fire, cannot be withered by wind, or cannot be cut by weapons. Why? Because the reason is soul is spiritual, it's not material. So it is not affected by any material instrument or any material conditions. Yes, somebody read the purport.
Sai, please unmute. Sai, please unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes. All kinds of weapons, swords, flame weapons, rain weapons, tornado weapons, etc., are unable to kill the spirit soul. It appears that there were many kinds of weapons made of earth, water, air, etc., in addition to the modern weapons of fire. Even the nuclear weapons of the modern age are classified as fire weapons, but formerly there were other weapons made of all different types of material elements. Fire weapons were counteracted by water weapons, which are now unknown to modern science. Nor do modern scientists have knowledge of tornado weapons. Nonetheless, the soul can never be cut into pieces nor annihilated by any number of weapons, regardless of scientific devices. And
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes.
Means if the soul is in any body, it is material, and if the soul is free, is it spiritual?
Yes, we told now in the previous classes, our
Yes.
body consists of 3 layers. One is the
Yes.
gross body, 3 layers. Gross body is a material. That means what we are seeing, our legs, hands,
Yes.
these are called gross body. Behind that is the subtle body or mental body. That is also not visible, but that mental body is also material only. Okay.
Okay.
The next is the soul or the spiritual body. That means gross body, subtle body, and the spiritual body or the soul. So the soul belongs to the spiritual part. So it is not affected by any material conditions. That is the reason it cannot be cut by weapons, cannot be burned by fire, because fire, weapon, water, wind, everything are material. Okay. So because
Okay.
soul is not material, it cannot be affected.
Okay.
Similarly, here in this purport, it is said that we are having different types of weapons, fire weapons,
Yes.
air weapons, and all swords. But soul is eternal, sword is spiritual. So nothing can be cut and destroy the soul. And soul cannot be destroyed. It do not have any birth or death. Okay. So, but
Okay.
today scientists, they are not able to understand about this soul. Neither they are doing any experiment. Even they will start doing experiment means they can understand. But because they are not believing, they are not starting doing experiment. Okay. So that is where we are not able to understand our body properly. Suppose we want to treat our body, we treat the disease also, we need to understand our body properly. If we treat the body in all the 3 layers, then only it is complete treatment. We'll be able to give the complete treatment to our body. But that's not happening. Our scientists do not have knowledge about all the 3 layers. He is only treating the 1 layer, that is the gross body. That is the reason our treatment is insufficient. Okay.
Means if the body of a dead person is burnt, the soul is not harmed.
What? Body of the dead person is burned?
Yes, means if the body of a dead person is burnt,
Yes.
soul present in it can't be harmed.
No, actually, when you will tell the body a dead body, when there is no soul. When soul goes out of the body, now the body became a dead body. We are burning the body, na? That time soul is not there. Already soul is gone. Okay.
Oh,
Even
Prabhuji.
soul is there also, it cannot be born. Okay.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Yes. Any other questions on this?
Prabhuji, someone is asking,
Yeah.
can you see a soul?
No, you cannot see. Na? Very small. You cannot see that. Till maybe we will able to see later, but till today we do not have the instrument to see the soul. That much knowledge, that much intelligence is not there with us. That much infrastructure is not there with our present scientist. Okay. So like previously, we are not able to see the bacteria, small organism we are not able to see. Slowly they have invented the microscope. By using microscope, now we are able to see the bacteria and viruses. Similarly, today we are not able to see the soul. Maybe sometimes they will be able to invent something else, then we can see. But in the present knowledge, we cannot see.
Prabhuji, she wrote that that is the reason why we cannot cut the soul or damage it.
Yeah, I told na, soul is spiritual. It cannot be destroyed or it cannot be affected by any material things, material conditions, like you cannot cut, it cannot be wet with fire or water, cannot be burned with fire, because all these things are material. Soul is eternal and spiritual, so it cannot be affected by any material things. Okay.
She wrote that is a soul like spiritual, so you can't see it, or is it just tiny or small?
It is spiritual, but all the spiritual you cannot see, that's not correct, because our God, Supreme God, is also spiritual. But some people have seen them. So that is the reason you need some instrument for that. And what is that instrument? That instrument is called Bhakti. The devotional service is the instrument to see the God. Like we need a microscope to see the small organism. Similarly, by devotional service, we can see the Lord. And like that, maybe some instrument is there where you can see the soul and super soul.
Yes.
Presently, we do not have the material instrument to see the soul.
Someone is asking,
Yeah.
if we can never see Krishna, then why should we believe him?
No, you can never see Krishna, means if you try, you can see. Na? Many people have seen. Why you cannot see? See, today, whatever picture you are seeing Krishna's, nobody has taken any photographs. These devotees had drawn with their own hand. And how they have drawn? Because they have seen it. And that is the reason some people drawing this diagram long distance. Some people in Kanyakumari, some people in Himalaya. When they are drawing this picture, there is a lot of similarities. How it came? Because they have seen the pictures. Okay. And if you will try, you will be able to see. It's not that Krishna is not visible, no one can see. Yes, we have not seen, you have not seen, but somebody has seen. Okay. Like our coronavirus, many people has not seen. Few have seen. Na? They are writing that we are reading. They have given the pictures. The coronavirus is like this. And we are accepting. Similarly, you have to accept the Krishna. Somebody has seen and they are documented. They have given the pictures. Okay. Otherwise, you should not believe coronavirus also, because you have not seen.
Yes. He asked again that if we can see coronavirus through a microscope, then is it the same if we can see Krishna through something?
Yeah, I told you na, coronavirus can be seen with microscope. That means coronavirus cannot be seen with normal eyes. We cannot see normalized coronavirus. For that we need an instrument. Similarly, we cannot see Krishna with normal eye. For that we need an instrument. And what is that instrument? That instrument is called Bhakti, or devotional service. With devotion only we can see Krishna, we can understand Krishna. Krishna is telling na, Bhaktyamam avijanati. One can understand me only by means of devotion. If you have devotional service, you can practice it. Then one day definitely you can see Krishna. There is no doubt about it.
Okay, Prabhuji, I think now we should continue the class.
Yes. So next one is 27. Yeah. So unmute everyone.
Please unmute.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Jatasya hi dhruva mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha kasmat pariharterthe तस्मात् परिहर्यर्थे न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. Yes. So mute everybody. Some of you read the translation.
Yes. Dhanya wanted to read the purport.
Yeah.
Please raise your hand, Dhanya.
Okay, same translation also. You can read translation.
Okay, purport and translation. Please unmute, Dhanya.
One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death is one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, one should not lament.
Yes, so one thing here you can understand, one who has taken birth is sure to die. Okay, but this is not the soul. Okay, who has taken birth means soul is there inside our body, but our body taken birth. Soul has not taken birth because soul do not have birth and death. So because our body has taken the birth, definitely one day our body will die. And after death, one is sure to take another birth again. So this is for the soul. So inside in our body, one is the gross body, another subtle body I told, and there is the spiritual body, soul. So this line is for the gross body. He has taken birth, definitely he will die. After death, one is sure to take birth again because this soul will enter another body. Okay, he will take another gross body. This body will not take another birth, but the soul will go and take another body. That is called another birth. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge on your duty, you should not lament. So that means Krishna is telling Arjun that you should not lament for all this thing because you are not the body, you are the soul. Whoever present here are not the really body, they are the soul. And the soul will never die. Just what you are seeing, the death is the death or the destruction of the body only. Yes, read the purport.
Purport: one has to take birth according to one's activities of life, and after finishing one term of activities, one has to die to take birth for the next. In this way, one is going through one cycle of birth and death after another without liberation. This cycle of birth and death does not, however, support unnecessary murder, slaughter, or war, but at the same time, violence and war are inevitable factors in the human society for keeping law and order. The Battle of Kurukshetra, being the will of the Supreme, was an inevitable event, and fight for the right cause, this duty of Kshatriya. Why should he be afraid of aggravate at the death of his relatives, since he was discharging his proper duty? He did not deserve to break the law, thereby becoming subjected to the reactions of sinful acts, of which he was so afraid. By avoiding the discharge of this proper duty, he would not be able to stop the death of his relatives, and he would be degraded due to a selection of the wrong path of action.
Yes. So what happened here? Krishna is telling, the body take birth, it will die. Again, the soul will take another body, it will die. So that means there is a cycle of birth and death for the soul will take different body. So that means for us there is cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. So this cycle will continue till our soul is liberated. That means till our soul reaches the Krishna lok or the spiritual world. Unless it is the spiritual world, there will be cycle of birth and death will be continued for us. Okay, so that is the reason we need to be free of birth and death, means we need to reach the spiritual world. Okay. Next thing, Krishna is telling, fight for the right, because it is the duty of Kshatriya. Now there is a war between Kaurava and Pandavas. Okay. Now how it is a fight for right? Originally the this war was there, na? Kaurava and Pandava. So Kurukshetra, what happened? This Pandava, originally the kingdom belonged to Pandavas, but the Kaurava has taken by tricks. Okay. Now because of Kauravas, people are having a lot of problem because they are not the good ruler. So people want a good ruler, and Pandava is the real ruler and the good ruler. That is the reason. Now two things they will have to do. They have to protect the people of the kingdom because they are suffering. Because of Kauravas, they are suffering. So it is the duty of a Kshatriya to protect their people. And because the people are suffering because the rule of the Kauravas, they have to protect them. So they have to kill the Kauravas and take their kingdom. Second thing, because Kaurava has taken the kingdom by tricks, it is their responsibility to drive them out or kill them and take their kingdom. So there are two things they will have to do. They have to protect the people, they have to take their kingdom, because Kauravas has taken their kingdom wrongfully by tricks. So it is their duty to take their kingdom and to protect the people. So that is the reason Krishna is telling, it is not for you or me you are doing this thing, you are doing as a dharma. To re-establish the religion or dharma, you have to do this. Okay. So any questions on this?
If you have any questions, please raise your hands.
Prabhuji, there is Arav.
Hello?
Prabhuji, there is
Yeah,
Arav.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Arav.
Yes.
Can I read it? Purport?
Yeah, next is 30. No, any question is there on this previous one?
I think Sai had a question.
Yeah.
Yes, please unmute. Please unmute Sai.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have a picture of Krishna. So
Yeah.
can you tell me, is it a real picture? I'll show you.
What? I can't hear. Can you tell me?
She has a picture of Krishna.
Okay.
Yes, I'll show you. Can you tell me, is it the real Krishna?
Okay. Once this class over, you show me. Okay, I'll say it.
Okay.
Once I'll stop sharing, you can show that.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes, no
Yes.
problem.
Yes.
Okay, I'll unmute everyone.
Yeah. So next is 2.30. Again, little more about this soul. Dehi nityam avadhyayam.
नित्यम् अव्यदयम्
Dehe sarvasya bharata.
भारत
Tasmat sarvani bhutani.
तस्मात्
सर्वाणि भूतानि
Natam sochitam arhasi.
त्वं अर्हसि
Dehi nityam avadhyayam.
नित्यम् अवधोऽयम्
Dehe sarvasya bharata.
देहे भारत
Tasmat sarvani bhutani.
सर्वाणि भूतानि
Natam sochitam arhasi. Yes. Somebody read that translation.
Okay,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji
can I
first.
read?
Yes, yes. Read.
Yes, Prabhuji. What?
Yes.
Ah,
I think Arav wanted to read. Shiva, you can read the next one.
okay.
Arav, yes.
purport.
You want to read the purport?
Yeah, so Shiva can read translation, I can read purport.
Okay.
Shiva can do next one because translation is small. Yes,
Yes.
so Arav, you can read translation and purport.
Okay, Prabhuji. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being.
Yeah.
The Lord
So,
now.
1 minute.
Yeah.
So, again, the same thing here Krishna is telling. He who dwells in the body can never be slain. Means he who dwells in body means who dwells in our body is none other than the soul. Because we have already discussed about the soul. Soul can never die. There is no birth, no death. It cannot be affected by any material weapons, any material conditions like uh, air, fire, water. It cannot be affected because it is not material. So the same thing, it cannot be slain when it cannot be destroyed. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. Yes, read the purport.
Yes, but the Lord now concludes the chapter of instruction on the immutable spirit soul. In describing the immortal soul in various ways, Lord Krishna establishes that the soul is immortal and the body is temporary. Therefore, Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, should not abandon his duty out of fear that his grandfather and teacher Bhishma and Drona will die in the battle. On the authority of Sri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body, not that there is no such thing as soul, or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from the interaction of chemicals. Though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged, but at the same time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. That must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord and not capriciously. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the same thing we have already discussed about the soul. Okay, so I think next sloka and all will be different little bit. So better to start from the next class. So I think this time we have discussed many things about the soul. What is the characteristic and all about the soul. Any question you ask, then I want to show you some video. One of the small video about Dhruv Maharaj. Then already we have discussed in previous classes, but if you see a video you can understand how is the Dhruv Maharaj, what happened to him. Okay, please ask any question regarding this what we have discussed today, then we'll see the video. Ronit will share the video, then we can see. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sai, she wants to show her picture, so I think you should
Okay.
show.
Sai, please show the picture.
Okay. I'll just.
Rosie, please stop recording.
Yeah. Okay. I'll stop the recording.